Hi everybody, it's Mark Shellshear. This is the Mark Art Show coming to you from Galleria de las Islas in Metro Manila, Philippines, and I'm standing in front of one of Austin's beautiful paintings. I hope you love this work that he's done. It's fantastic work, and I encourage everybody in Metro Manila to come along and have a look at these paintings. Now guys, I get a lot of correspondence regarding fame and success and the things I talk about, and of course not everybody agrees with me, and I'm not looking for everyone to agree, so that's fine. I mean, I put my thoughts out there and my ideas out there, and then I give them to you to stew over them, to think about them, to apply what is good for you, to throw out what you don't like. I'm not looking for devotees, I'm looking for people who want to be students and learn from not only me but from others. There's many out there. So I talk about success all the time, and I'm going to talk about it again today. You know, the difference between a successful artist and a not successful artist is a successful artist is prepared to do what unsuccessful artists are not prepared to do, and that goes with life. Now people say, well, there's a bit of luck involved. Well, I don't like the idea of luck because I don't think luck is a real thing. I think that we create opportunities by what we do and by our work. Now you may call it luck if you wish, that's fine. And I say that success or fame is looking for a prepared person, a prepared artist to come to. And I say we must be prepared in all areas of our life, not only in our craft, being better at our craft, improving with our craft, but also understanding the business that we're in and working on the art business, and also working on ourselves personally, that we build our personality, we build our work on us, and we become better people. And I think that's very important. I think we must improve. Improvement is important. Now, success comes to people, yes, I know. And some people, we heard when they're young, win wonderful competitions, have all this, what would you call it, potential in front of them, and success comes, and then after a while success goes and they're totally forgotten. Why? They were never prepared for success. Success doesn't stay where it's not prepared for. Success is looking for a prepared vessel. Okay, so now I talk about all these things, and people say, well, Mark, you expect the artist to do an awful lot. Yes, I do. If you want to be famous, if you want to make it big time, then I expect you would be prepared to work very hard to accomplish that. If you're not prepared to work very hard, you're not going to accomplish. I heard a story about one of the great car salesmen in America. And, you know, this guy sold more cars than anybody else. But what he did was more than anybody else. Not only did he sell the car, but when he spoke to the people who were buying it, he got their addresses off them, he got their birth dates off them, he found everything out that he could about them, their children's birthdays. And what he did is he sent cards to thousands of people on their birthdays, on their anniversaries of their weddings, on their children's birthdays, on his birthday, for Christmas, for Easter. This guy never stopped communicating with those people who bought cars from him. They knew him. They became friends in a sense, even though it was long distance kind of a friendship, but he kept contact with these people. And next time they went to buy a car or somebody spoke to them about buying a car, who do you think they would recommend? They would recommend him. Why? Because he was the guy who kept contact. Now, I tell artists there are certain things that I believe artists really need to do, okay? And I'm going to go over those again. Simply this, artists need to work very hard on their craft. And what I mean by that is I believe you should be improving. You should be looking at doing new things. Do not get locked into one style or one thing. See that evolution is part of the growth of life. A tree is always a tree, but from the little tiny plant to the giant tree, it changes all the way through, but it still remains a tree. And so with us, as we as artists grow, so many artists seem to want to get locked into a style or locked into this is me. I don't really understand why. Because you're a creature who's evolving. So evolve and let your artwork evolve as well. So I look for artists to work very hard on their craft, building their craft and making their craft even better. I also believe that artists should storytell their paintings. Now, I know that a lot of people see a painting and it just speaks to them and touches their heart and all that. I get that. There is that happens. It happens now and again. I do acknowledge that. But I also recognize that the majority of paintings are sold because there's a story to go with it. Because the artist tells a story of why they did this, what was happening, what was going on. And people like to hear that. So artists, I say to you, storytell your work. If it just speaks to somebody and it's totally different to your story, that's fine. That's wonderful. That's great. But the majority of people that I deal with and I sell art is they came up and say to me, you know, Mark, tell me the story. What's behind this? What was Austin thinking? And then I've got to relate what Austin has told me about this piece. Okay, so we learn to storytell your art. The other thing is artist packs. Now, I talk about artist packs, and I know many of you have done artist packs, but many of you haven't because it's too much work. You know, I don't really need to. Hey, just excuses. The truth is you do need them because there's something, if they don't buy a painting, it's something that the person takes home with them as a reminder and a contact for you. You never know when they're sitting down and think, wow, I really love that yellow painting that so-and-so did. I wish I could contact her. And if you've given them an artist pack where you've laid out all the things that are necessary in that pack, they can contact you. So they're important. I wouldn't say all these things if I didn't think they were important for you. After sales service. Now, in the beginning, when you're starting out or you don't have a lot of sales wherever you are right now, obviously after sales service is not as important as when you've got 20 or 30 collectors. But if you've even got 2 collectors, after sales service is important. Now, what do I mean again by after sales service? I believe you really need, once you have, say, 1 or 2 collectors who are buying you, start a monthly newsletter. And every month, send them a newsletter around about the same date by email about what you're doing, about what's happening, about the new works, about some thoughts that you're having. This doesn't have to be a book. This just has to be 1 page, and you can put some new work on and show new work. And also invite them over for a studio meet and greet. Even if there's only 2, you can bring some other friends as well, and you can have a little coffee afternoon and talk about your art. Meeting them, greeting them, building a relationship with these people. It is so important. We need to build relationships so that when you've got 20 or 30 good collectors, you can then have big cocktail parties and invite them. Do I think it's important? Yes, incredibly important that you invite these people together because they all love your art. And there's something about the crowd and the relationships that build. And this is going to change your life. This is going to change your social standing. You're going to go up in the world. All these things are happening as fame comes along. So that's why I say about being prepared for it. So build these things into your life. Building relationship with collectors is one of the most important things you can do. See, when you start off, you're just a little artist in the studio and you know, you're painting and you have your shows and it's lovely, you meet people. But if you want to move up the world and you want to become somebody in the art world, it takes on a whole new thing. You become like the pop star in a sense. You've got to look after your fans. You've got to look after your collectors. They've got to know that you love them and they are important to you, and they've got to feel important, and you've got to make them feel that way by contacting them, by newsletters, by always addressing them. If you see them at a show, walk up and say, "Hi, John, good to see you here." You know, building that relationship, inviting them in once every 2 or 3 months to your studio to have a wine and cheese evening. Get people involved because that's what they want. You must understand, the collector and the fan, when they buy into your art thing, they're buying into the dream. They're buying into the story they're telling themselves of this wonderful artistic lifestyle that you live. It mightn't feel like it to you, but to them it's real. And they want to come and feel you, touch the hem of your garment, be in your presence. They do, and you've got to build that into your art career. So fame is not just something easy that's going to happen. Fame is going to be more work than what you've got now, because you've got to keep this going, because that's what happens. You've got to keep your collectors happy, encouraged, and going on through your meeting with them, emailing them, and through that, you're building a bigger business. Remember, no collectors, no sales, no money, no life. That's the other way. Artists, don't do what the unsuccessful artists do. There is no rules in this. There is no set way that an artist must go along. Though a lot of people believe that because that's what they see other artists doing. Do your thing. Get out there. Reach these people. Touch these people. Inspire these people who buy your paintings, and they will stick with you long term. Okay, I hope that's been a benefit to you. I hope you understand my reasoning here and why I say this. I know I add a lot of extra work to artists, and you think it's just about painting. It's more than that. It's more than that. This is your career we are talking about. And I want you to be as successful as you possibly can be. You guys have a great day. I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow. I look forward to coming to your studio and talking with you and seeing your art practice and getting an understanding of what you are doing. Remember to reach out and touch people. There's hurting people out there. People need care. They need our smiles. They need our hugs. Excuse me. You have a wonderful day. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.